Alright, so this video is gonna be a little different. I want to talk about doing, things revolving on comedy. I mean, I wouldn't say my sense of humor is great. Well, I guess we probably shouldn't say that unless I do it, right? I should, like, make something as an example to see what others would, think. But I'm deciding if I do, like, this comedy stuff, should I make it, like, a separate channel, or should I just post it on this one? You know what I mean? It's just, like, a whole different, thing. I'm not too sure. I know a lot of people make separate channels for some reason, but I guess because, like, people will prefer consistent content on a specific channel. I'm assuming that's why people do it, right? Because you only appear for a channel for a very specific content. Just like how I would use this channel for, like, my variety or whatever. But I think probably making another channel for, like, doing comedy or joke stuff probably wouldn't be too bad. I don't really see the harm in it. I don't know. I'll probably show a prime example of this soon enough, and I might just post it on this channel first to see what people are okay with. I might just ask a question at the end. But the reason why I have this video up is because, like, is that something that people will probably prefer to see? Like, probably just, like, casual, like, dumb what if scenarios. I mean, like I said, I do like making stories. When it comes to comedy, I wouldn't say I know how to write that. I'm not the golden book of comedy here. I'm the loud, obnoxious type of comedy. The comedy that people like. Your buddy sitting there like, where's the punchline, guys? You might. It's like that type of comedy. When the whole joke is the entire room itself. And it's I know jokes are, like, here and there. There's no way to really tell if something is a joke or not. Like, you could apparently anything could be a joke at this point. You could just, like, say something like, I'm good at saying random things, right? I'm really good at that. You say something random and you just call it a joke, even if it's probably the most offensive thing you could say in the world, and you can just turn it into, like, some a joke, which is like, all right, cool, I guess. Whatever floats one's boat. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I think the first thing I should do first is my story. I probably should get that up, but I have to do some drawing. So I feel like I might have to do, like, a whole nother thing once I get better at drawing. But I might do some drawing first in order for me to have that video up. So at least I can understand the illustration. I also have to draw, like, my humanoid, like, not humanoid, but you know what I mean, like, human chaos first. Like, he has to be drawn first, since he's literally at the first part of the story. But the skits thing, I had a skit. Well, I still have it. I'm just wondering if I should do it. It's called The Health Inspector, right? I can read the script out so you can understand, like, the idea of what I was going for here. Actually, no, I won't read the script. I'll just summarize it. So pretty much, the health inspector bit is pretty much supposed to be this character, except he's shirtless. And what this character is, or at least how I envision this health inspector thing, is there's a whole nother different alternate universe to, like, my own characters. Even though I guess that kind of doesn't make sense continuity wise if I do elaborate more about Enlightened Rifts, because realistically the argument of alternate universes doesn't exist. So at least it's complex. It's really complex. It did exist at one point, but when you're in a gate agent, it's a whole different story. But then they still can. It's really complex. My story is very complex, and I have to. It's a lot. But basically, this is supposed to start in a whole different incantation of universe, where another Chaos Atlas would exist. So you can argue that this character you're looking at is technically still Chaos Atlas. Probably have a texture look more like Chaos Atlas, but I have him textured as Psychotic Break. Maybe the incantation of Psychotic Break wouldn't be bad. Maybe I should have him set as that. But this guy that you're looking at is supposed to be the health inspector for that video. And I'm the only one who can be doing the skit, to be honest, no one else. And it takes place in the 1VR chat world. It's something. It's like a food court world. That's the plan. I'm using it for that, right? And I have a few characters, like a receptionist. There's gonna be a receptionist. All right. There's gonna be the boss, and there's gonna be the two cooks. and the health inspector's daughter. Now, when I look back at the script, I realized that I didn't put anything to signify that he is the health inspector, but I think I see why I didn't. So the premise of this skit is gonna consist of a lot of fat jokes. I'm gonna be honest. It's the cook is gonna be like cooking this guy, and this character's gonna be like, yo, what's going on here? And like it's like, why are you talking to the health inspector like that? You know, like that's really the general idea of what I wanted to try, or at least want to do. I'm just not sure if people will be interested in that type of thing. I mean, it shouldn't, like I said, it shouldn't be hard for me, right? Because I like stories. Realistically, it kind of sits at a weird point of like, okay, there's a story here, because I know people like do comedy or skits just for like, oh well, blah blah blah. This happens and then this is not canon. I'm a story guy, so every single little entertainment value joke skit thing I do is actually supposed to be a storyline. So like that health inspector meeting that cook, if in another video, if I do use those same characters again, it has to like somewhat makes sense, but don't to why, right? Like, for example, if your job is cooking, why are you at a hotel? Basically, that kind of doesn't make sense. If this guy is supposed to be a cook, why is he there? And they could probably argue, well, maybe he got fired from his job or something random. Well, of course, a health inspector guy can have fun in this. Now, I should probably be very clear here. It's not gonna be in the video, but this health inspector is not a normal health inspector. I mean, I guess there's a certain part of the script where you can argue that clearly you might think it's because he is a health inspector, which he is. He's supposed to check the establishment, but he's something beyond that. But he just chooses to be a health inspector. I don't know. I like it only because, well, I can tell stories in a whole different way through just little comedic things, and I guess it gives me a good time to mess around with that. But I feel like I should do something more enlightening verse related, only because I don't have the means, or at least the knowledge, of doing certain things to animate enlightening riffs. But I can damn sure have a bit of knowledge to try to make some little comedic skit using already coexisting or current existing, not coexisting, VR chat worlds. So I think that'll be a fun little idea. Should most definitely give that a shot. So anyway, that's all I wanted to ask. See if anyone would be down if I probably should make that instead, or make something a little entertaining, or show some form of story through a little bit of entertainment, even if it's goofy or doesn't make sense or just flat out unrealistic. But you're dealing with a furry creator here, so don't expect anything to make sense or be realistic, okay? Anyway, what makes sense is one thing I want. Yes, never mind. Hold on. I want the make sense to make sense. Okay, the realistic part, yeah, don't expect that from me, because I like fantasy. All right, fantasy is my thing. I am the strongest kaiju in fiction. Okay, let me let y'all go. Bye. So while working on the video, I decided to make 2 other channels. I'll display them on my homepage on my YouTube, probably at the bottom of the list. And those 2 channels will be the one that consist of those other types of content. I decided to do it that way since I think I yap too much on this channel anyway, and I use it for like either playing games with friends or talking about my opinions. But I'm gonna put those 2 channels in the description as well when this video comes out. There won't be nothing on them yet, but anticipate them to be there. Anticipate that. So anyway, you have a good one. Bye bye.